Tigris and I had transmitted to the entrance of the Priestess of Knowledge Pillar. Instantly, we sensed the swarm of leeching entities set before us outmatched our advancements. We hold back the barrage of enemy, an unveiling strive to give Crystalla one last opportunity to end this all. There were too many of them and too few of us. I unleashed everything within my will to hold our perimeter, but the charging ghouls and lifeless beasts kept converging to no end. Gaia pierces a gaze into my Atman and lunges into the sea of Vilman, decimating all in her vicinity. Eventually, the overwhelming assailants pull Gaia apart, and she is no more. A most vibrant light withdraws from the remnants of Gaia and is rejoined into the cosmos, and with Ea. And then, from the corner of my eye, a transmission portal appears, and out, Reta emerges. She had recruited reinforcements, and out of the portal, an offensive blitz of Asa-led warriors and beasts followed. Without hesitation, Reta begins a flanking attack on the wave of forthcoming foe. A return of faith and hope reinforced my will to keep fighting until Crystalla and the others arrived.
Anu had grown mad. He had been betrayed by his false path to Ascension, and now led a full assault of destruction and havoc onto the city. I was tasked with retrieving the Source Orb from the behemoth Anu had become, before he dismantled the final node in Urumia. I began an array of attacks on Anu, but nothing seemed to faze his advancements. Finally, I dart into the middle of his chest, where the Source Orb was merged with his Merkaba. And retrieved the orb out of him. Immediately, I sensed the power growing within me as I grasped the orb. The temptation to merge it with my Merkaba overcomes and distracts me. Anu, reformed, takes the opportunity to flee towards his remaining ranks, at the foot of the entrance of the Priestess of Knowledge Pillar.
Here at the steps of the Priestess of Knowledge Pillar, we had arrived to the climax of all things. I witnessed Kartha, my Moana, defend the entrance to the pillar, unable to reach him in time. he is obliterated by a blast from the overwhelming onslaught. I parry attacks on my way to Carta's side and grasp him once more.
Ninma, I am sorry. I am sorry, Ninma.
Go now, my Moana, and rest. You hold no dissension here. I gaze at the ruin before me. Countless lives lost, all fighting with the same intentions of reaching the higher. Was this the only way? Were we destined for obliteration or abolition? I witnessed the ruination of my allies, and my overall morale sinks into darkness. Anu appears, withered and beaten in the midst of the barrage. At my lowest, I search for the light of my love, Moab. Crystalla. The onslaught of defilers approach, and I am left without the will to carry on. And then he appears. Crystalla.
My company and I arrived at the final pillar in Urumia. Valkyrie and seraphs of light flew overhead as Pakalvotan's battalion charged on in a siege of offensive display. The sea of Druge-led Filman succumbed me to my core and presented doubt within me. Across the entrance, I see Ninma grasping at the corpse of Carta. A sense of dread creeps into my heart and tingles down my spine, eventually forcing me toward the ground, to my knees. No, this will not be our undoing. We have come too far, and are merely moments away from finishing what we all here began. A sudden, a blasting horn, and then a deafening chant. Abbas appears with a brigade of Bedouin tribes, ready to defend the last pillar. I find comfort seeing Hiba reunited with his people once more.
Rise, son of Asa, and lead your people to the higher. Rise, Crystalla.
A current reinforces my core at Man, lifts my spirits, as I stand with those willing to risk everything and see this through. This is our final stand. Trust in Asa as I trust in you, and let us bleed light unto these beings of darkness and Druge. I turn my gaze at Ninma and see she is reaching out to me. Without warning, Anu hurls a beam of condensed energy at Crystalla, knocking him back into the entrance of the priestess chamber, creating a massive crater of rubble and debris.
Crystalla!
Zaid lands from above and quickly darts over to Crystalla to assist him, Lita following closely behind.
Let us be done with these foul deviators. Nothing gets into the chamber.
A perimeter line is created around the entrance of the chamber at Osman's command. Anu unleashes the full power of the Druge-infused beings. And the final engagement, at the end of all things, begins. Back inside the chamber, Zail stands over Crystala's scorched body with the source orb in hand. A whisper enchants Zail, telling him to destroy Crystala, to take the orb for himself. And then, Lita steps into the chamber.
Zail, we must take him to the final activation point in the middle of the pillar.
Zail, still entranced, gazes into the source orb.
Zail, help me lift him.
Zail is shaken from his daze and takes the hands of Lita.
You have always been my light, when darkness has clouded my will. Let us be done with this.
Zail lifts Crystala's body as Lita opens a portal to the middle of the pillar, and the three of them pass through. Massive stones begin to fall down as the battle outside begins to undo the integrity of the chamber. Lita creates an enforced shield around the three of them.
Help Crystala activate the node while I hold shelter.
I don't have the strength to activate it. Anu has drained all vitality from me. I sense the Druj leaching into my Atman. You must finish this, Zail. Infuse the source orb with your Atman. Zail presses the orb into his chest.
Together then.
Zail lifts Crystala, both with their hands clenched around the staff of Caduceus, and plunge it into the center of the final node. Crystala lets out a roar of excruciating pain, as does Zail. An immense vibration and a deep tonal sound begins to dissipate both Crystala and Zail into particles. The final beam of light is casted into the sky, completing the grid. An explosion behind Lita occurs, and Anu steps inside the chamber. The lifeless bodies of Crystala's companions lay still at the steps of the chamber, and then an eternal wave from within Crystala and Zail explodes unto New Eshua, throughout Dadi, out into the universe. The Stargate of Nibiru expels a massive beam through Dadi, obliterating it into shards. It takes a necessary existence of duality for such occurrences to occur. Chaotic to the unseen eye, balanced in its own, the universe has, is, and shall forever be, because it has made it so. Thus, order is shown. The vibrations expelled by its first light continue, resonate in harmony like once before. Vibrations attracting, reacting, and now responding. What ignites such occurrences? Free choice of the divine enthroned, abused, and learned. Choice of assent, an expression as if the very being is arbitrating to escape such confinement. Of what is learned to be time and space. The spectrum of knowing and scale of truth enlightened the forsaken and forsaken the enlightened. However, once an incarnate is able to house the innermost light of the 12 dimensions of consciousness, then only by the truest of vibrations, the realm of the ascended is free to roam, and cosmic sovereignty is reached. Beings of spiritual hierarchy, masters of light and life, serve the righteous being. The ascended guide the people to wisdom by influencing technology, art, education, and science. The ascended guide the people to the highest, most divine of consciousness, love. The raging sea of the all had once more swelled into existence. A hued hum, a crimson vibration, a symphony of twilight, a harmony reached within unity. The sense of presence is reached, and from out of the dense darkness, form is realized, learned, and attained. I had awoken, clouded in fractals of light. The source orb emulated a most sincere pulse within I. I swam within the cosmos, for I was the shepherd of order and leader of the guild. I was endowed with the service of reclamation. Engulfed by a timeless junction in space and presence, I began to reconfigure a structure, sound and true. The guild, immersed within the fractals of light, aided in the design of our new universe. Within each entity stood fragments of their former selves, transferred through the Ascension. Together, we brought design into existence, and light unto worlds and beyond. Consumed by darkness, lacking form or identity, the Witness had nestled into the void of it all. Unable to communicate beyond its presence, the Witness awaited in shadow and seclusion. A dense amnesia succumbed the Witness to only glimpses of a previous life. Thus, the Witness becomes the keeper of falsehood, of Druge. Shackled to a fixed position in a timeless confinement, the Witness is unwillingly subjugated to view the cosmos grow in and out of existence. Yet, within concealment, whispers permeate throughout such chasms of void and darkness. Whispers calling for Crystalla. Whispers that develop a desire, a need for cessation and judgment. And there, within the void of it all, the Witness shall await such conclusion until granted such outcome, observing.